Hi gang, and welcome to our second Tale of Four Gamers. Last year we spent about 6 months collecting, building and painting some Warhammer fantasy armies, culminating in an 11-player narrative event at Warhammer World, where we played the old 5th edition of Warhammer Fantasy, the one that we'd all played when we were kids. Well, this year we want to do something just as big, if not bigger, but unfortunately our plans for something just as big, if not bigger, kind of rely on Games Workshop releasing one certain box set we know is coming, but we don't know when. So in the meantime, we're going to do a mini Tale of Four Gamers, skirmish scale, just 2 months, small forces, and then another day of gaming at Warhammer World. This time we're going to try Warhammer Underworlds. If you've not played Underworlds before, it's a very small scale board and card game, I guess, that's currently in its 5th year of production. Model count for the game is really, really low, usually between 3 and 5 models in your gang, so perfect for like a mini adventure. But there's also a deck building element to the game, which means we need to actually learn how to play the warband we pick. We're allowing ourselves around 7 weeks to complete this, with the intention being a day of gaming at Warhammer World around the Easter break 2022. Now, some of us are completely new to the game, some of us have played a little bit before, and a couple of us gave it up when the deck building element started getting a bit too competitive. But Games Workshop have recently revamped all the formats Underworld is played in, and created some new formats that are way better for just casual play. So that's what we're going to do. As part of this, I'm going to do an Underworlds 101 video, but all you need to know for now is that the version of the game we're going to play, Rivals Plus, doesn't require you to obsessively collect cards for years and years, which is better for all of us. Anyway, at the moment, no one's revealed what they're going to build, so let's catch up with everybody and find out. Hi everybody, and welcome to Tale of Four Gamers 2, sort of, mini Tale of Four Gamers. We're going to do Tale of Four Gamers, except really, really fast. I think everyone watching has heard us mention that we really want to do Heresy when that rumoured box comes out, but we have no idea when it's going to be coming out. But we reckon we've got a few months at least. So yeah, Warhammer Underpants, that's the plan.
If they had Warhammer Underpants, I'd buy a pair.
So in this first thing, it's planning really, isn't it? All of us have, many of us have some involvement with Underworlds, Shadespire, whatever it is before. So we can have a look at what people have done before and then see what we're going to do this time. And the deadline, as I've said, is Easter-ish weekend, which is April the 16th, 17th, around then. We are going to meet and play some games of Underworlds, hopefully at Warhammer World. We will have 3 new teams, and we'll see how well we do. Gary, you've played Underworlds before.
Yeah, so I played both Shadespire and Nightvault.
Which are the first 2 years. We're on year 5 now.
Yeah, and I played it at local store level, like little small tournaments. I never won a piece of shade glass or the trophies. Which, and I only ever managed to paint 4 of the original Shadespire teams.
Did you collect all of them, though?
So I had all the teams from Shadespire and Nightvault. I never went further than that.
And then why did you stop playing?
Just seemed to be getting too bloated with too many cards. And
in the first few years, I guess this was before they started instigating any of the sort of limits on what cards were valid or anything like that.
I think when Beastgrave started, is that when they started rotating like the first seasons?
Something like that, yeah. There wasn't of the sort of casual formats that we're planning to do now.
Yeah, and I like the sort of rejuvenated look at Rivals has brought.
So it's time to then reveal, Gary, what will you be doing for this challenge?
Yeah, so I will be building and painting Morgwaeth's Blade Coven.
Oh, unexpected.
I'm not entirely sure how that's pronounced. Morgwaeth?
Morgwaeth? Any advance on Morgwaeth?
Morgwaeth. Is the G silent, maybe? I don't know.
Were you doing it like West Country?
Morgwaeth's
Blade.
They're dark. Are those the Dark Angels? Dark Angels? Are those the Dark Elves? What are they?
Witch elf.
Oh, it's a witch elf one.
So yeah, I think you get 4 witch elves and 1 witch elf with a snake body.
Yeah. Okay. That's surprising. I saw you were doing Beastgrave. I thought you were going to go for Ripper Snarlfangs, which are like the current best gang.
They would have went quite well then if I did a wolf pack for my old army. So they were on the cards, but no. I decided with these ones because I can then drag them easily into Warcry if I just add in another couple of the I don't know what the snake body ones are called. Medusa. Yeah.
I think they're called Melusai for copyright reasons.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I think you had one pack of those and maybe a couple of the daughters, and that's it.
Great. So, any plans? Do you know what you're doing? Have you had a look through the cards or anything like that? You're starting from complete scratch, Gary.
I've been looking through the faction deck. It looks pretty solid. And then I've been looking through the universal cards from the Essentials pack, because you can switch in a few from the Essentials pack.
Mm-hmm.
And I've spotted like maybe 5 cards from there, which I'll be able to throw in and remove any chaff that I find.
And I guess the idea is to get some practice games in and see which cards you don't end up using.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's quite an interesting one, those, because one of the things I don't paint a lot is tons of skin.
Mm.
And I assume the Witch Elves have a lot of skin. They usually have a lot of skin.
Yeah, not a lot of armor.
Yeah, not a lot of clothing at all.
It's probably not that cold in the Beast Grave. They're reasonably well kitted out. Yeah, they'll be fine.
Okay, right. So box art, Morg Wyeth's Blade Coven for Gary. Not what I was expecting at all. Okay, great. Russ, have you have you played Shady Spires or one of the early ones, or did you ever play it?
So I've played Shadespire about 4 or 5 games against my best mate and 1 game against my wife, who beat me, even though she doesn't play any Games Workshop games whatsoever. But yeah, I think I'm still in the low, medium single figure number of games I've ever played. So I don't really know what I'm doing.
You've played it, you know the rules, but you haven't played it for a while. What did you have, like the Shadespire box set?
So I've played with the Steelheart's Champions and Garrick's Reavers.
Yeah. So
I've got these lovely models, but I've never actually gotten around to using them yet.
Okay.
Or I might have used them in 1 game, but I don't remember.
And you said you've ended up with accidentally quite a few warbands because you have a Nighthaunt army.
Yeah, well, I bought, obviously, I absolutely love these Sepulchral Guard models. I think they're like the best plastic models GW have ever done. But yeah, like you say, I've basically bought loads and loads of Mortal Realms. And so I've got the models for Lady Harrow's...
Oh, Mournflight. Yeah.
And I've got these horsey fellas whose name I have no clue of. I think I've got 2 of the Thorns of the Briar Queen.
Okay.
And they're really nice models as well. So that means I've already got 4 from the Death faction.
So are you going to do Death then, or are you doing something new this time?
So this time I've gone for one of the new ones, and I've been teasing this before we started filming. But basically, if I said my shaved head and beard is a really big clue, would you immediately get which one I'm doing?
Oh, I know what you're doing. You're doing pirates.
Pirates.
Yeah. So I've literally briefly opened this to check everything was in there.
So this is Black Powder's Buccaneers, which is a pirate ogre, 2 Noblars, a parrot, and a monkey.
There we go.
Yep.
And I've still even got the cards in the decks because I don't know what I'm doing with them anyway, so there's not really much point opening them.
I played it a few weeks ago against someone who was playing it a few weeks ago. It's a really weird, fun little warband. Right. The monkey's very fast. They steal people's treasure, so which is represented by, I think, if they win a fight against you, they steal one of your upgrades or they break one of your upgrades.
Okay, that's cool. Well, they look like really nice. They look like really nice models. So I've got 5 models that I think only 2 of them will even be remotely similar to each other. Obviously, the Grots will probably have a lot in common with each other. So I'll give them their lovely striped pirate pants, white and blue, probably. Probably do the little bird, like very like rainbow coloured, maybe.
Yep, like a traditional parrot.
Yeah, I think it needs to look more like a parrot than this red thing that they have on the box. So I want that to be more multicoloured.
Okay.
And him, I'm going to try and actually paint the fur pattern so he looks a bit furry.
Okay.
And then I think I might give Black Powder himself, I want to give him a redder beard. And then I need to decide whether that means I should do the lining of his coat a slightly different colour. But I think, in the painted version on the back, he looks fine. But I kind of want to give him a big red bushy beard. You've not played it for ages, so I guess you haven't been through like extra card decks or anything like that. You can just take the cards that come with them, and I think those ones are pretty good. But yeah, I haven't got a clue. When we were up, so I've got those 2 decks so that I can use, my skeletons and my scary ladies. But yeah, I might just use the cards that come with this because I don't know anything better anyway. So cool. The face of the ogre there. If I do this.
So
That's right, isn't it?
but we could institute, and I realise this is very harsh on Gary. We could institute a costume policy. Only announced after you've picked your team. All right, you won't have to find much costume, Gary.
Yeah, that's unfair. Gary's barely got to find anything.
Boob stuff.
Brilliant.
I'm 100% in favour of that because I just need to go in the loft and get all my old pirate outfits. And, it's like it's basically done already.
On to Bobbie.
Hello.
Bobbie, you are new to this game. Completely.
I am, completely new. I'm going to be our newbie for this series. I've not played a single game of Underworlds. I think I might have watched 1 or 2 games on YouTube, but that's about as close as I've got.
Did you have many things you were trying to decide between? Does that make it more difficult to pick a team, or are you just going?
I don't really have any idea of what's kind of the meta for this game, or even what the different play styles are. Luckily, I did already have some of the models. I'd bought one of the boxes for some conversion parts, and luckily not so many conversion parts that I can't still build the team. I am somewhat predictably doing vampires. Yes, I'm doing the Crimson Court.
I think that's also quite a good one at the minute. Is that like 2 vampires and 2 buddies, or?
No, it's just 4 vampires.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, they'll be easy to kill then.
I think 2 of the vampires are slightly speedier, softer vampires, and 2 of them are just absolute beat sticks. I've sort of had a little look through their cards and abilities, and they all seem pretty tough. I haven't really looked at any of the other gangs to compare them to. So, all
right, Bobbie. Well, so there you go. You're going to try a whole new game in the next couple of months. A whole
new game, yeah, but with very familiar players. So
it should be really fun. I really like it as a game. I've been playing it loads recently. So yeah, hopefully you will too. I think I might therefore have the oldest War Faction gang team. I played Shadespire a bit at the start with you, Gary, because we found it a really good pub game when it had just been released. And then I pretty much ditched it the minute the competitive element came to the fore and it looked like you needed to buy cards and things. And then just after Christmas, I got a set of Diachasm and I started playing in some of the Warhammer World Bugman's Clash events, the little ones that Nick Baton organizes. Because one of the things they've done recently, as I said, is shake up how the formats work. And one of the formats they do a lot now is Rivals and Rivals Plus, which do not require you to collect loads of cards or search for cards, or even deck build, really, if you don't want to, which is suddenly makes it a lot more accessible as a game for me. So I really got back into playing it recently, and I've been playing it exclusively with Sexy Chaos, the Dread Pageant, which is why I bought Diachasm instead of Harrowdeep. Again, like everybody else, I found myself with a few different teams that I just had. Like, I thought maybe I would go for the Cow Elves that come in the box, but paint them in cow print, and maybe replace all their heads with cow heads. Do something like that. But I've decided to go with something a bit more on brand for the channel and do fucking squats. Doing squats. Doing squats.
Of course.
When I did my squat review a few months back, I did like a review of all the third-party squat models and old squat models and compared them all the sort of older manufacturers that have been making them. And to compare them, I bought, I needed to get hold of some Caradron Overlords. And the cheapest, easiest set to get that gave you a broad spectrum of what Caradron Overlords models is like was Thundrix Profiteers. They do this thing with Underworlds teams where once the team has been rotated out of the current range, because they sold all the cardboard, they then keep the models and they sell it for they were selling these for I think it was 15 quid for the gang. So I got them. So I've assembled them. I assembled like 2 or 3 for that squat review. I've assembled the rest. I needed something to do with them. I've ordered the cards off someone on Facebook on the Shadespire trade group, and I'm going to do squats.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, I know, right? They're already assembled. It's not a major advantage because these teams take like half an hour to assemble. Thundrix Profiteers are 5 Caradron looking for riches. They're from all the way back in Night Vault. They're season 2. They've all got guns apart from the flying guy with a pokey stick. And apparently their Inspire thing is that they all work for Thundrick. If they get an objective, Thundrick can promote one of them to Inspired. So it looks like, I'm not sure, but it looks like a bit of a objective grabby ranged gang with lots of guns.
Sounds quite different to the rest of us.
Yeah, it also might be terrible because I think objective play is quite bad at the moment.
The Inspire mechanic ain't too different from the Blade Kogan. As long as the priest lady is alive and you kill someone, she can inspire someone. It's like a sacrifice has been made. You can inspire one of the people. But they're official, so that's like the second way to inspire them. Their inspire that's wrote on the card is if it's phase 3.
Oh, right. In phase 3, you just get inspired.
If they haven't done enough murdering by phase 3, they just get inspired anyway. So.
I've got a fun. I've just opened my cards. I've got a fun mechanic, but it's not the same for all of my things.
That can happen sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an action that they can all do, a light fingered one. After this fight a successful attack action, I can pick one of the target upgrades and break their cards. Then they get inspired. Whereas Black Powder gets inspired by discarding swag counters.
The guy I was playing had used little chests from Dungeon Bowl as his swag counters. There's the chance there for some little conversion-y things.
I've got loads of little things for Frostgrave objectives that I've kept, like chests and piles of gold coins and stuff like that.
Surely you've got a bunch of old Mordheim chests somewhere.
Never played Mordheim. I'm so old that I actually stopped playing before Mordheim got released.
Cool. Well, there you go. Well, there's our 4 teams. We're going to meet up in a few weeks then, and we're going to have started painting, I assume, maybe started looking through cards and get a plan together. And we have, as of now, just under 2 months. I think it's about 7 weeks until we are playing.
It's only 5 models. I can do that. I mean, I've been painting these now for close to 2 years, but
since they were released. 5 models. Come on, Russ, you can do it. And only 4 of them are tiny.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that makes it easier.
Bobbie's got the fewest, right?
Yeah, I've only got 4.
If anyone wants to join in with us on Patreon or anything like that, send us some updates. We'll happily include Patreon updates on the next update. I imagine we should do the next update in, I'm going to say, 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll see how far we've got. But come on, it's only 5 models. How hard can it be?
I might even build them now.
Thanks, everyone. Well, see you in 3 weeks. We will do our super fast Underworlds update.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.